And wreath can be sent to any cemetery that's involved in the program throughout the United States. So if you have somebody, say you're in Minnesota and you have somebody that's buried in Arkansas, you can have a wreath sent to there if that cemetery is part of the program.
I see.
And there's a list on that website of which cemeteries are involved. It can also be used as a fundraiser. If you have an organization that's interested in raising funds, they can sign up with the Wreaths Across America program as a fundraiser, and once the wreaths are ordered, the folks in Harrington will send back to the fundraising organization $5 per wreath.
Wow.
So that they can use it as a fundraiser.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I can see where, you know, maybe for some folks who are watching this tonight, it might be a little late, perhaps to sponsor a wreath or to, you know, think of a fundraiser. But this sounds like something that's not going to just go away with this year, because right now here in Minnesota, it's in its 5th year. Certainly it sounds like it's growing, and probably it's going to be something that's going to be around for many more years. And so this is an opportunity where people can say, well, maybe this is something I need to keep in the back of my mind for next year too, because you'd probably be willing to bet that it's going to happen again next year too, right?
It'll definitely happen again next year. That's right. And participating this year just with a presence, and then kind of plan for it next year, and consider either fundraising or sponsoring a wreath sometime in the September-October time frame, and then that'll be much easier.
Well, see, and this would be an excellent way for people to become familiar with with the Wreaths Across America organization, with Civil Air Patrol, maybe some of the other organizations that might be there also at the event. Great opportunity to network maybe with people that say, for instance, maybe even if you're in your own household that you've had folks who've been serving in the military, and you're looking for some way to connect with other families who have similar concerns or experiences.
Yeah.
This might be an excellent way to connect with some new people, and in a positive way. And looking forward to next season as well, and getting more involved with the Wreaths Across America. And
a very supportive way.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I could see how, again, how powerful it would be to drive by this area that's going to be where the ceremony is going to be and where the wreaths are going to be laid, that later on, even like if somebody cannot come to the ceremony, later on to drive by, you will be able to see exactly what we were seeing in the video. I mean, think about how amazing that is with all the wreaths, with the red bows and everything. I think it's going to tug at a few heartstrings.
This is a season, certainly, when people want to remember their families in this way. And I really, my view and my hope would be that this will grow into a similar thing that we have in May for Memorial Day, a recognition of our fallen and our veterans at these cemeteries in the middle of winter.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I understand that we have another film clip that you've brought as well. And give us a little setup about what the second one is that we're going to be looking at.
The second one is a little more photography of what's going on at Arlington. I think you'll see some of the vans and some of the train, the 2-mile train of trucks and vehicles coming in. Probably see some Patriot Guard there. And you'll actually meet one of the Gold Star families that's at Arlington, and they talk a little bit about their son. And then towards the end, there is a child that's walking with one of the adults, and she's asked a question about what she thinks about the whole thing, and her response is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this film footage. Then we'll return, and stay tuned.
The image is stunning. Christmas wreaths adorning stark white headstones. One man's gesture of remembrance and respect.
My word, it's certainly not about me. No, it's the veterans and what they've done for all of us.
Volunteers assembled in a labor of love. Older men from other wars, young people caught up in a splendid moment. A flag unfurled beneath a cloudless sky. A motorcycle escort started, and the wreaths headed south toward home, past small towns and big cities. 4 days south toward Arlington.
To say thank you for our military's sacrifice.
Welcome to Arlington National Cemetery.
We come because we're trying to give back to the veterans.
As we prepare ourselves for the sacred duty of honoring these fallen heroes today, we thank you for our freedoms purchased by those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
This is Arlington National Cemetery, a place where memory never dies, a place Morrill Worcester first visited and never forgot at the age of 12.
I won a trip as a paper boy. I saw Arlington, I just never forgot it.
And go right behind you over in that section. Right, sir.
They started this 15 years ago with 50 people, and today we had 500 to 600 people come out.
As you place that wreath, take the time to look at that name. A lot of these stones don't have people anymore to come by and pay respect.
This year, hundreds gathered. Veterans like Lynn Hill, who says more with a gesture than words could ever express. Hazel Thompson and her daughters traveled all the way from Florida to pay tribute to their father and grandfather, Thomas Thompson Sr., who served in World War II.
My father would have been happy that we were up here and that we remembered him. I think everyone has a little bit of maybe a fear, that little inkling that maybe someone won't remember them after they're gone. And I think he would know that he'll be in our hearts forever.
And then there's the Red Hatters, 5th and 6th graders from Skowhegan, Maine. Each of them studied a member of the military who has died serving in Iraq. Tell me a little bit about what you learned about Michael Martino when you were studying about him.
We learned that when he was playing football, he was called the Flea because he was tiny, but everywhere else, his classmates thought he was big, especially in his heart.
I'm sure he'd be proud, just like we are. Thank you.
Michael Martino was a Marine Cobra pilot who died heroically while flying a combat mission in Iraq.
Even a year after it's happened, you know, every day is just so tough to get through. There's always constant memories, but then you come out here and see something like this that people are doing for your son and other soldiers that are other servicemen. It makes it easier.
If you could say something to Michael Martino, what would you say?
Thank you for serving our country and fighting for our freedom.
Some veterans that had fallen, I didn't really think it'd be this much, but it's actually a lot. I kind of like to respect the people that have fallen and fought for us so we can live here today in peace.
My son here is the ultimate. Kept him out of school today. He needed this, and it wasn't out of the textbook. It's real life.
The Patriot Guard Riders served as escorts for the wreath's journey from Maine to Arlington National Cemetery.
It brings a tear to my eye to see people come together. We bury a lot of folks here. We did a funeral yesterday. And this is a good opportunity to do something other than bury our comrades, to pay honor and respect them. And so it's kind of a special moment today. I'm a Vietnam era draftee. When I came back to the United States, we didn't wear uniforms. We were instructed to take our uniforms off. Now, wherever I go, we get a lot of support. Everybody, I believe, understands that these men and women give everything for their country, and this is an opportunity, I think, just to give a little bit back.
My name is Morrill Worcester, and this is my wife Karen. We've been laying wreaths here at Arlington since 1992. This is our 15th year. I'm from Harrington, Maine. Our business is making Christmas wreaths and other Christmas decorations. I wanted to give back, you know, and it's because of the freedom that we all have. It's why I can do what I do, and everybody else can do what they do, and but I just wanted to give back.
After 9/11, we all came together and remembered that we loved the country and we loved our freedom, and we understood that. And then, you know, then we got busy again and got complacent. We're a grateful nation. We just got to show it more.
He started wreaths across America, sending some 1,300 to cemeteries and war memorials around the country. But he will need help to reach his new goal.
We simply got people that love and want to do what you saw here today, and that's what it is. It's people of a common bond coming to and express a common appreciation for a veteran, past and present.
Active duty and retired military personnel, the Civil Air Patrol, Boy Scouts, the VFW, the American Legion.
With a gift from a grateful nation for the dead who helped defend democracy.
I personally believe that I owe a great deal to every veteran that's out there, because you know, I've had the opportunity to live in a country like ours.
I don't want to let my brother's name be forgotten. And nobody should let anybody that's killed over here, their name forgotten or forgot what they did.
Ultimately, it's all about saying thank you to everyone in here.
In life, they honor their country. In death, their country honors them.
A beautiful gesture of gratitude for those who gave us the ultimate gift.
And Hannah, you were there yesterday. What did it mean to you personally to be there in Arlington?
I think, you know, I guess a tendency for us all is to listen to numbers. I mean, there are 2.7 million such graves in this country of people who died in service to our country, but you realize these are individuals, these are people with families and names, and you place a wreath on the grave of that World War II soldier that I did yesterday, and it just really hits you, and that's what their families want us to remember, that these are just, they don't want us to forget.
Well done.
Film clip. Very good. And of course, there was something that the one gentleman said that I think really is a very important thing, and that is do we have a caller? Okay, I guess we got a caller, so then we'll come back to what the gentleman on the film clip said. So, okay, is the caller there? Okay, so we're getting feedback out here. So let's see if the caller's ready. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi there.
This is Frank Younghands.
Hello.
I'm a friend of Diana's and Richard Geis both, and I needed to call in to thank you for beautiful work you've done in putting together these programs with information on the wreath program and all the cemeteries. And I'm just taken by this, and I want to thank you for all your fine work.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for calling in. Okay, excellent. Well, you know, it's always good to have callers call in and you know, give us some feedback on the program. Then we know we're at least hitting the mark somewhere. So, you know, that's really good. And, you know, one of the comments that I heard one of the gentlemen in the last film clip say is that this is an opportunity that rather than just to go to the cemetery to bury our soldiers, this is an opportunity to remember them. And I thought, how true. I mean, because so many times when people go to a cemetery, the only reason they go there is because they're burying somebody. And, you know, for once, isn't it nice to know that there's an event while you're going to the cemetery, not to bury someone, but to remember them. And the way that I look at it is that as long as you still remember somebody, they actually still exist in some small